Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, and for anybody that's new, welcome. So we all know we're going to do the clock, and I just wanted to show you the couple different sizes of hoops that Dollar Tree carries. So they carry the 20.5. I believe this one doesn't have a tag on it, so I believe this one is about 24, and then I got the bigger one that's 29. The reason why I'm going to show you the difference, you can make it any size. The only thing is, all depends on when you do the clock, you can actually just do a fake clock. You can just put the round piece. You'll see at the end that you don't have to add the actual clock on. I think I've seen one or two of those done, and that was a little while ago. But I'm actually going to put the clock on it. So I did order off of Amazon. I think it was like $12. And you can look at the size of needles that you want to have on your clock. Now, the reason why I'm going to show you the threes all depends on the size of your needles. So I'm just looking at the needles here, that this part will be the middle part. So I don't want to you're going to have to make one of them smaller, and it will be the outer one or the inner one, just depending on the size of your needles. So I don't want anything smaller, because then it just will look silly. So I've decided to keep this one as is. I don't want to use the second one, because when you put your sticks on, it will look silly. So I'm going to omit the middle size one, which is the 24 inches, keeping the 20 inches and the 20.5 and the 29.5. But I'm actually going to make the bigger one when we take all the wrapping off. I'm actually going to cut it and make it a little bit smaller, and I'll show you why. So I'm sure you guys can see over here, when you put the sticks on, they're just barely touching. So if I go over here, it's not working. So I need the outer one to be a little bit smaller. I'll probably cut maybe 2 inches. I'll let you know when we get to that point, but that's how you can, do your own size, bigger, smaller, but just looking at the different options with size of the hula hoops. Now the hula hoops are all from Dollar Tree. I did get these packs of sticks, I was going to paint the regular sticks I had. They actually came in the black and they came in the white. So it's great if you want to do a different style. You want to do a white clock. Maybe you want to do the white hula hoops with some bling and do the sticks white as the numbers going around. Or you can stick with the black, so it saves one step of having to paint all the popsicle sticks. So I did buy 2 packs just in case. I'll let you know at the end how many I need to do. So you can just measure it, like I said. And when you take all the tape off and to go to cut it, you can actually just pop it back in, take a little bit off. So I can just adjust it, and we'll go, as you can see, just making sure that at least it's sticking well when we go to stick the numbers on, that there's enough room on both sides, and then it's not hanging, and then it's even all the way around. So after saying that, we're going to move to the steps. So what we're going to do is you're going to have to take, let's see. And if you remember doing the hula hoop shelf, if you've seen my video, if you haven't, it's in my tutorials in the video. You're going to have to find the spot that has an opening for the tape to get off. And I don't know where it is right now. It's usually where the part, and this is the fun part. It's actually, I'm just joking about the fun part, but let's see if I can find it on this one. I'll show you what I mean. Okay, trying to find where it's taped, the bigger part, because usually that's where on the other hula hoops. So what we're going to do is we're going to take, so I'm just not going to stand here and sit here and let you guys watch this whole thing, but I'm just going to show you. Came off a little bit. Sometimes it's a little bit easier than other spots to do. And believe me, it's not going to be like this the whole time. Once you get it going, it's actually not too bad. except when, of course, when I'm filming this, right? Usually it unwraps right off. Maybe I should find a different spot. I'm trying to find where it's actually put on. So as you can see, I'm just gonna flip it over here. So I got a good piece going here. So now you're gonna see that you're gonna have a gray hula hoop. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna take both the plastic off both of them, and then I'm gonna show you the next step before we, to cut it, to measure it, and then we'll paint them black, or if you wanna do a different color, whatever you'd like to do. And then we'll, let me take all this off and then we'll come back and move on to the next step. Okay, so I took all the plastic off and I end up cutting the bigger hoop because it was just too big. You're gonna have to measure, depending on the size of the hoops. How I just decided, I kept cutting little pieces by little pieces. I think I took almost 4 inches off, but when you change the diameter, it doesn't come up that I took 4 inches off. So what I did was I just keep cutting pieces off. This is where I cut it off. When you cut them off, I just use these little, I think they're for gardening. I just took 2 snips, bent the piece back, it snapped off, and then I cut all the way around. If it's a little bit jaggedy, I just used a little sander just to make it nice and smooth. I did take out, I did take out the little rice. I never did with this one, and I'll show you that in a sec. So I just wanted to make sure that the placement, it's really hard unless you're really far away to see the whole circle. I don't know if you can see, but I just want it, you want to measure it. So instead of having it like flush like that, I decided to have it sticking out a little bit. Just want to make sure as you're cutting it, you go all the way around so you can kind of get the idea that you're pretty even when you actually start gluing them all on. But what we need to do is pop this one open, and you're gonna have to do it for both. So we did this exact same one for the hula hoop shelf. For some reason, I can't get this one off, but I'm just gonna put my garbage can up here just so it doesn't get all over. So in the hula hoop, there's that little rice, and you, well, came out that end too. Okay, that's done. Ooh, this one was hard to get out. So what I'm going to do is use some E6000 and some hot glue so it actually glues together right away, that you're not holding it there while the E6000 just for durability. I'm going to do that on both hoops. I'm just going to show you here. So I'm just going to put a little bit here. I've got some hot glue over here. So I'm going to start on this side. And then you're gonna see that some of the stuff comes out. Seal that and then just wipe it right away. Once it dries, you can just pick off the little excess that actually comes out when you're sticking it in. Just gives it a bit of hold when you put a bit of glue in it. I'll do that after. Then you do the same. Then you do the same process for putting this one together. I'm gonna take this apart and do the exact same thing. Then I'm gonna actually take them outside and spray paint them just with some black spray paint. It's a semi-gloss spray paint that I have. And then once they're dry, I will bring them in and then we'll move on to the next step. Okay, so what I did was I placed the hula hoops are nice and dry. I had to use, actually, I dipped into my second pack for a few. I put the Roman numeral numbers around the clock. I basically just eyed them. I didn't measure them. I just kind of eyed them. Having the tablecloth with the little checkers helped just kind of even out everything. So I kept them. I know they stick out a little bit, and that's okay because that's what I wanted. I didn't want them to totally blend in. I'm just going to make sure that ones on the inner hoop are level all the way in, that they're not sticking on one side or the other. Oops. and I'm gonna go all the way around. I place them where I want them. I'm actually gonna use, I usually use E6000. I find it takes a little bit longer to dry, but I actually bought some Gorilla Glue. It's just clear glue. It's supposed to be water resistant. Not that I'm gonna have it where it's gonna get wet, and it dries pretty fast. It says fast drying. So what I'm gonna use is this one. I'm gonna go around. I had to take it a far away so we can get the whole, so you can see the whole scene. So you will need definitely 2 packs, or you can keep just 1 pack and paint the white ones, but it was just nice that they were already painted. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna come back, and then we're gonna move on to the middle section and putting in the clock part. I'm gonna show you where I got these. I just took one off. It is a little long. We do have to cut it. I do have 2 to go both ways. But I will show you these when I come back and I get all these glued on and I let them dry for a bit. Okay, I'm letting all the, I just forgot what I was gonna say, sorry. I'm letting all the popsicle sticks dry. I am gonna leave them for a good couple hours, maybe overnight, just to make sure they get a firm grip and they dry very well. So the next part is I'm gonna do the middle. So the clock's gonna be there. And I'm gonna put some sticks this way and that way. So I did grab this at Dollarama. It's a little cat toy. As you can see, one of those sticks. I've seen them at Dollar Tree, but our Dollar Tree doesn't really have much pet stuff these days. So I did take them off. So I'm actually, I think this one, I had it this way. I don't want to put it like this because it's going to be bulky, and I didn't want to just put it like a T because first of all, you got to change the battery and it's not going to sit flush. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to try to level it off here. See, this is good. It measures on the table. I'm going to, and I don't have my marker. No, I do. I'm just going to, because I'm going to glue the ends to the hula hoop, and I'm going to glue them to here. So I'm just going to mark it. Now, I'm going to mark it that I need it here and here. So I'm going to cut this piece off. Now, to cut this off, I did not use these pliers as I used with the hula hoop because the hula hoop was a lot more rubbery. This is a lot more stick. It's like it'll just snap. It won't. So I use my little handy dandy, as I call it, my handy dandy saw from Dollar Tree, and I've already worked. As you do this, just keep rolling it and go all the way around and it'll just come off. I already tried it, worked good with the saw. So I'm going to do it that way. So then once those 2 pieces, I'm going to glue it here and here, and then I'm going to take my second one and do the exact same thing, flip it this way. So I will glue from there to here, there, all the way in a 4. So this is the middle part with the sticks glued on each side, which will be glued to the frame. Once that's done, I don't know if I have it right here. I don't, it's still drying. The centerpiece that will go over top, the circle, and then I will add the hands afterwards. That will be the last part. Mine didn't come with instructions, so I hope it works. So let me get these cut. I'm gonna spray paint these black, but I have an idea that I might want to put jute rope on the sticks going this way, but I'm gonna do them black and see if I like it. It might be just too much black. I just like the little touch of the jute rope. That might make it just off-cent with the black center. So I'm gonna try that. Not sure if I'm gonna go with it or not, but first let me get this. I want to glue those on, and then we'll come back and we'll move to the next step. Please make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll see you shortly. Okay, so the last I showed you was measuring the sticks to put on the battery pack and the clock. I did that. It's glued. I used me 6000 and I used a bit of hot glue. I was going to go with the black, but I've decided, so I painted it extra. I could have left it pink, I guess, but I just wanted to add a bit of rustic, so I used the jute rope. So I've already done the 3. The middle part here, you're not going to have to worry because we're going to put the top on that. I will show you how to do the top. That will be the last step. So I just wanted to show you how these are glued on. As you can see, they're sitting on top of glasses. So I always find it's always better when you're working on something, just because with this, I kept wrapping it around. I hot glued it, and I also used some E6000s on both ends. So I just want to show you that. So once I get this done, I will come back and I will show you the last step for the top underneath the clock that we're going to attach to here. All right, so I actually finished off the jute rope and put it on. The battery pack's on the back, so you can just flip it over to change the battery. But I didn't want to have the top flush too down because you have room to adjust on the gold part here. So I just took some, I don't know, the tiny eeny weeny teeny ones, the little Jenga block. So I just put them, I glued them on already. Now the top I made out of these, I'm just gonna show you a little bit closer. They're just little plates from DT. I think they were in the wedding section, you know, where all the plastic tablecloths are. I drilled a hole, I used the little drill bit first, you know, just really the tiniest one. I changed the bit a couple times so it wouldn't crack, because I did crack it once, but I went through and I did it again. So I had one of these. I did paint it black. I just found that it was too streaky, especially with the plastic when I spray painted it. So I kind of changed my mind, and when it was just too streaky, I didn't like it with the spray paint. I actually painted it, when I did paint it black, you can see that it's sparkly. They have the sparkles on it on the opposite side, but I actually used Mod Podge. I wanted a texture look. I didn't like the shiny look with the spray paint, so I wanted a matte look. I know it's a little bit shiny, but then it matches the sticks, which are not shiny. So I actually took some Mod Podge, the Mod Podge one that's matte, and I put some sand on it. I just put some sand and some Mod Podge. I let it dry overnight. And then I painted it just black with some acrylic paint from Dollarama. You can buy it at Dollar Tree as well. So, and this was the result. Don't worry, you won't be able to see that circle. I know it's not, when I was drilling, it's not the best circle, but you're also gonna have to glue here so when you put it on, it will be flush like that. Let me just grab. I haven't got to that point of putting these on yet. I gotta figure out. I got them from Amazon, like I said. They did not come with instructions, so wish me luck. So the last part, once I glue this on, will be putting the little bit. I'm sure that's how it's work. I'll probably have to look it up how to put a clock part on, but I just wanted to show you this part, how I did it. So I am actually gonna glue it. I'm gonna put the clock on there. I'm gonna put a battery in, not that you're gonna watch the battery go and it move because there's no little hand, but what I'll do is when I have it all on, I will show you better than looking from your view, give you a better view of what the finished product looks like. All right. All right, everybody, I just brought it outside. It was a nice day today, so I thought I'd bring it out. I just hung it on my fence. I just wanted to show you the finished result. You can actually hang it. I just have it hanging by a nail now, but you can actually attach a picture bracket, which is the one with the little teeth that you can hang it on behind where the battery, just under the battery goes. But please like, subscribe, and if you have any comments, please leave them below, and have yourself a great day. Thank you.